Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With two unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at FromTheGroundUpBooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Hello and welcome to Weirdos in the Wild with our co-host, AJ Oxley, paranormal investigator with Beyond This Life Paranormal and multi-generational paranormal enthusiast, and Lynn Tincher, Beyond This Life paranormal investigator, Reiki master, published author, and near-death experiencer. Travel with them, a couple of everyday weirdos on a wild ride to all things paranormal and metaphysical.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. My name's AJ.
And I'm Lynn.
We got a pretty cool little subject, and this is a subject you came up with.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good idea, especially since it's been freezing cold and snowing, and it really made me think about some of the things that we've done and some of the places we've been and things that have happened while we're ghost hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, we're going to talk about our favorite subject today. We're going to talk about ghost hunting. And we're going to talk about cold and winter and cold spots and all of those things that go along with these cold phenomenons that we run into. You know, when you first came up with this, I thought, I don't know how I'm going to talk about this, because I thought, well, we can only talk about cold spots so many times. But there's a lot of other things that I thought of that have happened just because of it being cold. You want to start out talking about cold spots?
I kind of went the route of a little bit of folklore
Okay.
and a little bit of science behind it and a
Okay.
little bit of why we use some of the equipment that we use and some of the things that we do that aren't necessarily ghost related. So
Okay.
So I kind of went down a different path, and then we can go and I went down the same path you did as well. But mostly what we're talking about is when you're on a paranormal investigation, and this has happened to us several times, all of a sudden some spot in the room or some area on your body or something next to you gets extremely cold. And, our first response is, oh my gosh, there's something here. As I know there's been several times that, you and I've been in the same room and basically standing side by side, and all of a sudden there's something really cold right between us, and we'll both be like putting our hand through it going, oh my gosh, what's here?
Yep.
So that kind of takes me to some of the equipment that we use a thermal camera and thermometers. I have the whatever, the laser pointer kind of thermometer
Mm-hmm.
And then we also have thermometers that you can sit in the floor and keep an eye on temperature. And we do that for two reasons. One is so, number one, we could try to prove that there's something paranormal there. And number two is to try to disprove or at least be able to read the room, so to speak, to make sure there's like no draft coming through a window or under a door or down a fireplace or up from the basement, anything like that, or a ceiling fan on that's blowing air and making it feel cold. So you can use those pieces of equipment to scan and gauge those areas and get a good baseline. And that way, if you've got a thermometer sitting in the floor and you're talking to something and all of a sudden you watch it drop 10 degrees and something else happens to kind of corroborate there's something might be going on, then you can kind of make an extrapolation that, hey, this very well could be something paranormal. So I kind of went down that path with my studies. Another thing is, there's lots of explanations. So just because you feel something cold or experience something, that doesn't necessarily mean it's paranormal. You need to go down the rabbit hole, so to speak, and try to figure out what it is. Is it the draft from coming up from the basement or anything like that when you experience it? Um, because when you can rule something out or just something doesn't make sense, then you can kind of think, well, maybe this is true. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that this is something. Which also,
Yes.
go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you because
Yeah.
we have had that happen a number of times where we've been able to put different pieces of a puzzle together. And one of those pieces is tracking of a cold spot or a warmer spot or some sort of um, temperature variations that we can catch using that equipment.
Right. And some of that is just to kind of keep a sanity check. Because your body, number one, is a very sensitive instrument, and I always say it's one of your most important ghost hunting pieces of equipment is your own body and
Mhm.
your own mind. Um, However, you need to know that a sudden humidity shift can cause a temperature difference or a breeze or whatever, and sometimes when that does that, that gives you goosebumps. So you need to really keep that in mind that your body is geared to have these kind of reactions, and that doesn't necessarily mean it's something paranormal. I'm
Right.
feeling pretty negative on all this today, but it's just I just want to kind of keep it because you see so much of this stuff where people are on TV and go, oh, the temperature dropped. Oh my gosh. But there's so many reasons why it could. Either it did or maybe you just perceived it too. So those are the things to keep in mind and really keep an open mind that what you're experiencing may not be. But what you're looking for is the things that you can't validate.
Yeah.
Um, so, and the other thing too is when you're in a location that you know is haunted or you suspect is haunted, you kind of have a certain expectation that these things are going to happen. And when you are expecting to feel a cold spot, you may kind of imagine that there's a cold spot there. So just know that when you're in that certain mindset that you're looking for these kinds of things, that they might actually occur. So that's when the equipment comes in very handy, where you think, oh my gosh, this feels really cold here. You can validate if what you're feeling is true. You can take that thermometer, that laser thermometer, and you know, kind of shoot around the room to see if where you're at is actually colder than somewhere else. And if it's the same, then okay, it's probably my imagination. Because your imagination does run wild with you when you're in these circumstances sometimes.
Yes, it does. And like you said, that's a good point. Not everything is paranormal.
Right. And you're
You
looking,
know,
yep, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you mentioned our equipment and um, how we, what equipment we use. You know, one of the best pieces of evidence we've ever got is using that type of equipment.
Yes. Joe's ghost.
Goes Joe's Ghost. But we also, I started thinking about this of how, like I said earlier, how this equipment, how we can use this along with our other things that we're using. Just like you said, it could be, it can be lots of the equipment that we use. Could be your ears, and it could be your eyes, and it could be just like you said, that cold spot you feel with your hand.
Hmm.
Um, but those things seem to, if you put them together, work the best. Now, with Joe's ghost, we caught it using thermal imaging,
Hmm.
which shows the difference. If someone's not familiar with thermal imager, which I think most people are, but it shows variations in temperature, and it shows things that are hotter, and shows things that are colder. And not only did we catch it with that, but we were in that room and we were filling cold spots where that entity, ghost, whatever you may want to call it, was. We were feeling cold spots there. If you ever see the video, you see somebody, I think, and I believe it was Joe, in fact, that stuck his hand into it, and we caught it while
Yeah,
he stuck his hand into what we were taping at that time.
it was Joe and Haley both.
Yeah.
This was something that you could feel the cool, but you could not see it with your naked eyes at all. But it's plain as day on the thermal camera.
Yes, it is.
His child size body you can actually fully see on the thermal camera.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we also got footsteps in that same room at that same time. So I think that's just a good point of how putting pieces together really does kind of, you know, validate more than just, oh, we felt a cold spot.
Right. So there's lots of pieces, and I just want to make sure everybody who's getting into this, especially new to this, kind of understands how to go about it. That way you don't get overly excited for nothing and then maybe
Mhm.
give up when you realize it was really nothing. But I mean, just so you know, and also that AJ and I are trying to go about this stuff scientifically and not just blow smoke up everybody's nose. That's a better body part than what I was getting ready to say. But um, just so everybody knows kind of our perspective and how we go about things.
Yeah,
Um,
and it can kind of be a little, if you've experienced it, we'll go back to my favorite saying: if you know, you know. If you've experienced, you know what we mean. Um, But you also get, and I've heard it, and Lynn's heard it, probably everybody that's ever ghost hunt hears it. Like, how do you know it's just not a draft?
mhm.
How do you know it? We're in old buildings. We a lot of times we're in basements. Um, how do you know it's not a draft? Well, you were talking about how we find these spots. And we've chased these spots around rooms before.
Mhm.
Um, we've been standing completely still, and all at once that cold spot will show up beside you, or you will just be walking down or across the room or down a hallway or whatever it is, and you walk into a spot and it is visibly colder. I mean, you feel it in your, when you, like you said, your body feels it. Um, we've done this before. We've both done this, and we've just looked at each other and been like, "Do you feel that?" you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, there's
Um,
times that's hit us both the exact same way. So yeah.
yep, yep. I'm going to let you go on, but there's another point I want to make in a minute, and about the cold in general.
Okay. Well, the last piece, other than the stories that I came found, but the last piece I wanted to go over is why we think ghosts are associated with cold, and that comes a
Mhm.
lot from the folklore and paranormal traditions, the stories handed down, people experience when you talk to them. But there's things like if you're out in the cold and you exhale, you can see, the mist in front of you. That looks spooky. So people, back then thought, okay, this could be, somebody's breath is floating through the air, that could be something paranormal, and that's associated with cold. Um, Sudden chills feel unnatural because sometimes when you're sick and all of a sudden you get a chill, you're thinking, oh gosh, it's got really cold in here. But basically, anything darkness plus cold kind of makes you feel an instant dread, so you think something bad is happening. And then early ghost stories always lean very heavily on setting the mood by the atmosphere. It's always cold and all this, so it kind of gets into your head mentally. So you're kind of going in expecting things to be cold, but that's how this whole thing kind of came about. Plus, when a body passes away, it gets cold, and there's just so much associated with that sensation that it does present itself to you as being paranormal.
Yeah.
To be paranormal.
And the paranormal or ghost hunter theory is there's a cold spot because the entity is drawing from the energy around it. And
Yes.
that's what's making that spot cold.
Yes. That's definitely a big theory, and I think that some of the stuff that we've experienced
Hmm.
ourselves, definitely a lot of the stuff that we've caught on camera. Uh,
Hmm.
so I don't know, maybe at this point we go into talking about some of the stuff we caught or
Yeah, yeah, and before we do that, I just want to, that's kind of where I was going to roll into this too. But I was going to say cold in general because I started thinking about some of the things that we've caught and some of the best nights ghost hunting we've had. It has been temperature wise cold.
Yes. Yes. One of the coldest days ever was when we investigated the Para 101 Cafe, which unfortunately is no longer there. But it was like what? It was a negative something degrees that day. We drove up in the snow. We had to stop and scrape ice off the car to get there. It was
Yep.
cold, and there was drafts in the window, blowing in the window, that actually blew snow and ice into the rooms.
There
Um,
was probably what, 8 inches of snow on the ground outside.
yeah, and a lot of ice.
Yep.
And there was one room that had heat. So we spent a lot of time in that room, and then we'd run out and investigate short bursts around the building. So, but yeah, that was one of the most heightened bunch of activity that we've ever had.
Hmm.
So I'm like you. I think maybe the cold weather helps bring some of this stuff on.
Yeah. And I mean, you name it, that night, it
Yeah.
just about happened that night.
Yeah. We had voices, plain as day. I saw a full body apparition. There was just a
You
lot.
were touched.
I was touched. You were touched.
I was touched. Yes, I was touched. That's where
That's
I
the
got
first
poked.
time. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the first time I'd been touched. Disembodied voices.
Mm-hmm.
We heard footsteps that night. We were doing the what do you the not the we weren't we were doing the
The Estes method.
we were
Or
doing the Estes method, and um we would we had a lot of responses there. We were doing the voice box in the basement. We got a smart ass ghost that night. Um
we had the dog
talking to
bark.
us.
Yeah.
Huh? The
We had the dog
dog. I
bark.
forgot about the dog. Yes.
Uh-huh.
That night was, yeah,
That
you
was a
saw
day.
the from the time you saw that person walk in there. Oh, and that was where we got that great um voice that we caught on tape that night too.
Yeah. Season 1, episode 1. We started off with that one.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a great one. And that was also a situation where we both walked into something and we both knew it, and then we caught that EVP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, plain as day, you can hear it say something. Yep, that was pretty incredible.
Yeah, so that was a good night, and that was a cold night, a really cold night. I was thinking about also some of the other places we've been when it's cold, and I was thinking about oh, why can't I ever remember the name of the school in Ohio? Um,
Hotel?
Post Town. Remember the first time we went there, it was cold,
Uh-huh.
and we had a lot going on. Roz, God, we've had more stuff happen when in there when it's cold.
Yeah.
That was what got you and I hooked. It was cold that night, and we walked in and saw the ghost that night.
I wonder, because when it's really, really cold, the air is dry and it's got a lot of static electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So I wonder if they're drawing from that static electricity. and that helps manifest these things. Because like you said, they draw from the energy, and the result of that is like a residual cold.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome back to Weirdos in the Wild. Before we return to our program, AJ and I would like to take a moment to remember my brother John Tincher, co-founder of Beyond This Life Paranormal, and Alan Oxley, AJ's father. Both passed away just before we recorded our first episode. Each and every episode going forward, from this one on, will be in remembrance of them. Thank you. Feeling overwhelmed, stuck, or energetically off balance? It might be time to reconnect with yourself. At Mystic Bliss Reiki, we offer heart-centered healing using Usui Holy Fire and Karuna Reiki to help you release stress, clear energetic blockages, and awaken your inner peace. Whether you're seeking personal transformation, looking to heal from past emotional wounds, or curious about your soul's journey through past life regression, Mystic Bliss Reiki is your sacred space for spiritual renewal. We also offer certified Reiki training so you can not only receive healing, but also become a healer. Sessions are available in person or online, so wherever you are, your healing can begin. Are you ready to feel lighter, clearer, and more aligned? Visit mysticblissreiki.com and book your session today. Where energy flows, healing begins.
Looking for your next favorite book? Or maybe your next ghost story? From the Ground Up Books isn't just a bookstore, it's an experience. With 2 unique locations in LaGrange and Shepherdsville, we're proud to be a local hub for readers, writers, and lovers of the unusual. Our LaGrange store is tucked inside the historic Ballard House, built in 1840, and yes, it's haunted. Join us for book signings, author events, and ghost hunts through this legendary Kentucky landmark. Or stop by our Shepherdsville store, nestled along the Bourbon Trail, for small-town charm, indie reads, and a few spirited surprises of its own. So if you love books, community, and just the right amount of weird, come visit us in person or explore online at FromTheGroundUpBooks.com. From the Ground Up Books. Read local, feel the history, keep it weird, y'all.
I was also thinking about Octagon Hall.
Yeah, we've been there we've been there both when it's warm and when it's cold.
First time we were there was hot. The second time we were there, it was cold, and that's when I saw that damn orb. And I say that for those people who don't know. I always said orbs were just BS. I never believed in them. It was freezing cold out that night. I actually went outside to get my coat and my hat and my gloves.
And my toe
and that's when I
warmer.
saw it. Yep.
That's how cold it was, even in the house. We were going to get my toe warmers.
Yep. So that was another experience we had, and it was cold.
Mm-hmm.
We've spent a lot of nights in some cold places. And then we also have just ran into random cold spots. I mean, like in the summer though, where you walk into something and it's like, if you've ever been, like, a good way, I guess I could put it. If you've ever swam in a lake that's just natural water and you found that cold spot in a lake, you know what I mean?
Yep.
It's exactly what it feels like to me when you walk into a cold spot.
Yep.
It just kind of wraps around you like that.
Yeah, it does. It's a weird sensation because it's sometimes you can feel both warm and cold.
Uh-huh.
So it's kind of cool. But if you're in the lake and it's warm, you might want to swim away.
Well, yeah. So, that's a whole different sensation there. That's a whole different thing. That's
that's not even another episode. That's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, that's a different thing altogether. But yeah, that was another thing I really started thinking about when you brought up this subject, was just the amount of things that have happened to us while we have been in cold weather.
We've been like you said, touched. There was one experience. I don't even know if I told you this one, but when I was learning Reiki from my friend Jamie, I was in her basement. There was a bunch of us down in the basement doing this, and all of a sudden, my left arm felt like it was in a deep freezer. And I mean,
Mm,
colder than cold. And I'm sitting there thinking, why is my arm so cold? And I couldn't see any, I was feeling around things and nothing else was cold. But I mean, literally, physically, you could touch it and it was like an ice cube compared to my right arm. So I'm like, what the heck is it? As soon as I said something, two different people said, oh, yeah, Jamie's ghost is standing right next to you. I'm like,
mm,
oh, okay. Well, I didn't know that, but makes sense now. But that was really, I think my first big experience was something that had that big of a temperature difference. And I had been to Waverly before when I was there with my daughter and she had a friend with her. And we were standing in the morgue and something really cold brushed all three of our left arms and went through the morgue. And all three of us were like, oh, oh, oh. So, I mean, it was that quick of a thing. It wasn't like, oh, I'm cold. Yeah, me too. It was, oh, 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 it got all three of us.
mm.
So, I mean, it happens. It's when you get to the things you can't explain that you're like, okay, maybe
Yep.
there's something to this.
Yep. And it also then, like we said, you get one thing that you can't explain, but then you add something else, and you add something else.
Hmm.
It yes, it gets you to, yeah, maybe that was paranormal.
Right. Yeah. When you're sitting and watching a temperature drop on a thermometer and all of a sudden the EMF meter goes off,
Hmm.
or, something comes out of the SB7, some kind of, word or, something that just doesn't make any sense. When all that corroborates itself, then you can pretty much say, yeah, I've got something. But the
Yeah.
thing is, you still can't prove it. Even when you have all this evidence, you can't really prove it because nobody believes you.
Well, yes, that's we've talked about that before too. That I mean, relatively, we've been doing this not a real long time. You know, I mean, doing ghost hunting. Have we had stuff happen all our lives? Yes, we have. But we're the times that we've actually sat down and started doing this as our day jobs, as we like to call it. We've talked about that too. That if we threw out all this evidence that we have, people would be like, "You're lying,"
Hmm.
because we've had some crazy things happen to us in, I don't know, how long have we been doing this?
Uh,
4 years,
about
5 years?
it's been, yeah, about four
Yeah,
years.
yeah. So yeah, um, but yeah, we've had some crazy things happen, and but some of the stuff has been just pretty amazing as well. So
Yeah, some stuff it's obvious.
yeah.
Yeah, when you see a full body apparition, you have no doubt. When you see a shadow person staring you face to face, you have no doubt. So,
Yeah, when you've been poked, you have no doubt.
yeah.
So but yeah, so that's one of the interesting things that we have happen to us, and it happens to us a lot. It's not like it's um I would say it's probably one of the number one or number two things that we run into on a basis going when we go ghost hunting.
Hmm.
So it does, which also could people say, oh well, it's not really anything, or it could really be that, oh yeah, that's just a normal piece of what happens in the paranormal world.
Not everything that's cold is paranormal, but some things are. So,
Yep.
and when you walk into something, if you walk from one room into the next, or like from inside outside when it's cold, you can feel that temperature difference. But sometimes when you walk into something that's paranormal, you feel like you've walked into something, not just transitioning into temperature. Sometimes you get that sensation of, there was something that changed here that had a little substance to it, not just an air shift, a temperature shift. So pay attention to that too.
Pay attention to that a lot
A
because
lot. Yeah.
as we said earlier, for whatever reason, you and I, when we're together, we've had that happen a number of times.
Yeah.
And we can just look at each other and we know we're
Yeah.
just in. It's almost like that once you've done this a while, you get attuned to what your body is sensing and what your body's telling you. Um, we did that there. We were talking about 101 Cafe. I remember another time we did it in West Virginia at the penitentiary.
Yeah.
You remember we were out in front of that one cell, and there was really we were in an area where it was like wasn't really supposed to be any activity there. It was just kind of we were just walking down through there, and we both just walked into something, and we were like, "Whoa, what was that?"
Yeah.
Um,
I don't know how to
I,
explain it other than you walk into something that feels like it has substance,
yeah.
but you can't see what
Again,
it
if
is.
you know, kind of thing, because it's. I mean, it's like in both of those cases, we were just not doing anything in particular. I remember we were walking through that kitchen at 101 Cafe, and I walked through it, and I turned around and looked at you, and you were like, "Oh,
And that was like within the first minute or two that we even started investigating that night, if I
I
remember
was
right.
yeah." And the lights were still. We had the lights on and everything in there.
Yeah.
And then at the penitentiary, that was like one of the last things
Hmm.
we did had, or one of the last places we had been that night.
Yeah, that's when all we took was a flashlight and your camera, your police
Yeah,
camera. And
and
that
we were.
was when something came up behind me right after that, and you snapped a picture and caught an orb behind me.
Yes. Yep. Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep. So, and then that was one point. You remember later on we were in that other section of the penitentiary, and we were in that. It was like that. Was it like two or three tiers in there, and there was like the shower area, and we walked right in front of
Mhm.
that one cell, and we were both like, "Oh."
Yep. Yeah,
I mean,
it's funny because I had the flashlight and you had the camera, and this is how in sync he and I are, you all. We would move the exact same direction at the exact same time as if we had choreographed this whole thing based on what we were both feeling at the same time. So that was
whatever it was, it
explain
both.
something like that.
Yeah, the way I explain it is that whatever it was that we were sensing, we both sensed it, and we both sensed it was in this exact same spot.
Uh-huh.
And we both turned around to know it was there.
Right.
Um, which is, you know, I don't know how you explain that, but whatever it was, we both knew what it was and we both knew where it was.
Right. And we both reacted the exact same way.
Yeah.
So there had to be something there.
Yeah.
There's no way, we're not twins. We can't, we
No,
don't share chromosomes or anything.
we're just friends
That's right.
that do crazy stuff like hunt ghosts, um, but yeah, we did. So that's the way I explain it. With whatever it was, we both knew where it was, and we both sensed exactly where it was.
Yeah. Ooh, that'd be a cool episode. Twins. Hmm. Y'all might hear that soon.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, but that has happened. I have to say that has happened when we've been in places that are cold.
Hmm.
West Virginia was in the summer, because that wasn't, you know, it wasn't cold. But yes, we have ran into cold spots in the summer where you're like there should be no reason why we are running into something that is cold um, here.
In 85-degree, 90-degree weather. Yep.
Right. Yes. There should be no reason why something is cold brushing up against you at that point in time.
Yep.
because again, we've been outside when that's happened. We have been in old buildings where there is definitely no air conditioning.
Right.
um, we have, um, and we've experienced it with lights on, lights off. I mean,
Doesn't
it's
matter. Yeah.
yeah, doesn't matter.
We gotta get back out investigating. I'm ready.
Uh, I know. So
In a bit. Been a minute.
it has been a minute. So, um, but that's a good question to ask our audience too right now. Do you know someplace good we can go? Because we're always on the hunt for the next place to go.
Right.
So if you have any good suggestions, or if you know a place where you'd say, "Hey, I've always heard about this place," let us know. We might be able to get in. We might not be able to get in, but we'll still try.
Yep.
So shoot us an email, respond to our on here to us. We'll be glad to get some new spots to go to. So
Yep.
um,
Just on their Facebook page.
on a Facebook page for sure. Go to Weirdos in the Wild. Go to the or you can go to Beyond This Life on that Facebook
Yep.
page as well. Oh, well, Lynn, did you have anything else that you wanted to talk about on this one?
Um, I was gonna say, yeah, I've done a lot of talking. If you want to take over for a bit, that's fine with me.
Well, I really was about. That's kind of what I was going to hit. Was kind of what we had experienced, and you kind of. I was going to talk about some of the equipment, but you kind of got that too. So
Oh, look at me go.
I know. And of course, folks, if you listen to us, we don't talk before this. We just kind of let it go. So see what happens. And sometimes we get the same thing, sometimes we don't.
That's right. Usually we complement each other pretty well
We
because
do.
he goes down one type of rabbit hole and I go down another. So,
Yep. Yep.
all right.
All right. Well, if not, I guess we're gonna wrap this one up. This might be a little shorter than most, but we've got some other stuff that hopefully we're gonna have coming up soon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but we also need to thank some folks too before we get out of here. I always want to forget that. So, but we can't do that.
Yeah, we have some sponsors to thank. We have Dimensions Radio with Chris McGill and Jamie Best. That's on Crossroads LaGrange streaming radio. And we have a little bit of news about radio too. I don't know if we want to share that just yet, but I don't know. What do you think? Should we share it?
Hey, it's your news. You want to share it?
All right. So we got Crossroads LaGrange streaming radio. Another sponsor is From the Ground Up Books, which is my bookstore. And what From the Ground Up Books is doing is we are also launching a radio station that is going to be a sister station to Crossroads LaGrange, and it's called Salt River Current, and it's local to Bullitt County, Kentucky, and it's going to be broadcasting from the Ground Up Books, and you will be able to listen to Weirdos in the Wild on Weird Wednesday nights at 7 o'clock. On starting April 4th is when the radio station goes live, is April 4th. So on Wednesday nights at that point, you'll be able to catch our episodes at 7 o'clock on those nights. 7 o'clock on Tuesday nights, you can go to Crossroads LaGrange and get Dimensions Radio, which is a very similar show to ours. They discuss all things paranormal, and we've been on the show a couple times. They've been on our show a couple times. So um, we just developed this whole relationship, and we're making better things happen from this too.
That's
Um,
right.
our other sponsor is Mystic Bliss Reiki. That's our friend Missy, and she is helping us with the podcast as well. So, and we're looking for new sponsors. So if you are a business or a paranormal team or something, and you want to sponsor us and get on some episodes as well as radio stations now, just let us know.
That's right. And we'd love to hear from some paranormal teams as well. We'd like to,
Yep.
hear from you. We'd love to interview you. We'd love to have some paranormal teams on like we've had in the past.
Yep.
Um, and if you want to do some collabs, we'll be glad to do that as well.
Yep. We'll be, you know, looking for some ways to maybe, like you said, collaborate, go maybe investigate together
Yep.
and see what happens, and maybe I'm doing a lot of maybes tonight, and make some episodes out of what we find. So you could be on the show.
Yep. So let's let's make this thing just bigger, and let's branch out and get to know some more folks in the paranormal community. We have a great bunch of the people that we hunt with a lot, and we'll never change that. We'll continue to hunt with them and continue to lean on some of their expertise, as we've got a few people that are definitely experts that we lean on. But it's always great to make new friends and new opportunities.
That's right. So you don't stay in old patterns. You want to find out something new. You can always
That's-
learn. Somebody else may have something that you haven't thought of. So
That's right. And we've got one of our old friends that'll be on our show and not far in the future. So,
yeah.
but we're going to leave that there because, we've got a new place to hunt, and we're going to ask one of our experts to be there with us. So we'll leave it at that.
Okay.
All right, Lynn.
All right.
All right. Well, get us out of here.
All right. Thanks for listening, everyone, and keep it weird, y'all.
Thank you for joining us at Weirdos in the Wild. Please show us some love and support on our Patreon account at Weirdos in the Wild. Like us on all of our social media. And if you've had an experience you'd like to share with us, visit our site at weirdosinthewild.com. Until next time, keep it weird, y'all.